What's up, everybody? This is Around the Boards. Hockey season's back. That means we're back, and we're happy to be back. So we got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff happened in the off season. We're going to break it down for you guys. We're going to give you guys a season preview of our favorite teams here. Talk about some other not so favorite teams. Anyways, let's go. Let's get into it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Around the board.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Back at it again. Hockey season just started. That means we are starting season 2.
Season 2.
Yes. And I'm joined here again with my good friends, like I am always, except for sometimes Dylan. But Robbie is here. Robbie, say hello.
Hi.
Dylan is also here. Dylan, say hello.
Hello, Rob.
Oh, thanks.
That's great.
Oh, there's a cat.
Yes. Great.
Can't talk about personal
Wh-
lives. There's another cat.
Where did we leave off at the last
Eric
episode?
Carlson was about to be traded. We all thought somewhere.
Yeah, our last episode I think was the Carlson stuff.
And he did get traded.
Finally.
We predicted it.
We knew he was getting traded.
Yep.
It just took the entire offseason until a fucking week before the season began. And he did not go to the Golden Knights. Thank God.
or to Tampa.
Or
He
to
went
Tampa,
to freaking
frankly.
San Jose.
Neither one of our teams
Like
has to
it?
worry about him anymore, Des.
Do we? Yeah, right. Exactly. Get out of the Eastern
San
Conference.
Jose ain't
Gillis.
shit.
Can make Ottawa a win on the schedule for the next 20 years now.
Yeah. So I'm not going to ask Rob's input for this, obviously. So I'm just going to take this for Duncan. Is this a good thing I guess it would be a good thing for the Sharks, but how do you think it's going to play out? You know, they were really hyping it up for him, and you think Carlson's going to have a good year playing for the Sharks, or you think he's going to have a normal average year for himself, or he's going to have a down?
My prediction is going to be Carlson's going to be fine, but I think Brent Burns is going to probably get a little better if that's possible.
Yeah.
Because the attention's going to be off of Burns now.
Right.
How come
Exactly.
I can't talk about this?
Because you're a Kings
Because you're
fan.
biased.
Yes. So I'm going to leave
Still
you out
have
of this
opinions.
one. But
Actually, I don't think Robbie hates San Jose as much as he hates other teams.
Fuck San Jose.
I don't know. It's gonna go one of two ways. Either Carlson's gonna shine or Burns is gonna shine. I don't think they're both gonna.
right. So it definitely takes the weight load off of Burns, like you said, which is good, obviously. So, Burns may even open up more. Like we thought Burns was good already. This dude may be even more of a stud this upcoming season now.
They even
Who knows?
have Vlasic, who's like the best defensive defenseman in the whole league.
Shut
no
the
one-
fuck up.
And no one talks about him.
Oh, he sucks.
And he's gonna So
Can I just say that I think Burns and Carlson, they're going to be great on the power play, but 5-on-5, it's not going to go well for them if they're on a pair together.
there's not
Interesting.
enough pucks to go around.
Yeah, it's kind of like in basketball when like you put like LeBron James on like a super team with like anybody besides Dwayne Wade, like him and like Isaiah Thomas or something like that. It's like they just fucking their styles are like too similar and they clash.
Sure.
Like Eric Carlson and Brent Burns, like they're both trying to do the same thing. They both won the puck at all times. To
But you could
Much
say that,
up.
but also like if we're using basketball as an example, look at Golden State or Oklahoma City. And they're in the finals every year.
Oklahoma State not anymore.
Well, yeah, but they're still a good team.
No, Oklahoma City only has one good player on the team now, and that's how like Eric Carlson was. He was the superstar, and now he's not going to have the puck as much. So I think it's going to affect him in that way, and it'll also affect Brent Burns a little bit. But their power play is going to be sick, and I think they get majority of their points on their power play, and they'll probably end up both as minuses this year. Hot take.
There's so many sick
Interesting.
power plays in the league now.
Yeah. So many.
But I don't know
So-
if Carlson's going to stick around for too long.
So flipping it to Ottawa side, they got screwed so hard in that trade.
They screwed
Oh
themselves.
my
screwed
god,
themselves. They
it's
were just
so
trying to get rid of
bad.
him.
It's like what was he thinking? What were they thinking? It
Draft
was-
picks, I guess.
They said, well, he's going to leave eventually, so might as well get something for him.
They're going to tank and get the
Something.
first. They're going to not try to tank
very
and they're
little.
still going to tank and get the first pick.
Well, no, because their fucking first pick is in Colorado. They can't even tank right. That's all fucking.
Yeah, their smartest
fucking
decision would have been to
terrible.
give Carlson to Colorado and get their first round pick back.
Yeah.
You know what I say about Ottawa?
What's that?
That they are.
They're
Their
gonna move to Seattle.
No, that's what their GM said. Remember?
Yeah, we're a team.
We're a team. Oh, okay, cool. Can't wait for the season. Let's drop
Like,
giant beach balls on
how-
people's heads. And
I
fucking
don't know. It just seems like there's never really been this much drama surrounding a team before until now. Like,
I know. And,
And-
fucking 2 years ago, they're in the fucking Eastern Conference Finals.
And it's bad because with that interview with their GM, even he doubts. He's having doubts.
Yeah, they said,
Like,
"What do you got to
it's
look forward
so
to?" He's like,
bad.
oh shit! What do I have to look forward to? What
I
can I
have to look
sell
forward
this
to
to?
Matt Duchene underperforming. All right.
But it's
Matt
like,
Duchene looked pretty sick in preseason.
No,
though.
Matt Duchene is he's the only.
He's having a
Matt,
fucking.
remember when he first got to Colorado? Could you name me any other player on Colorado besides Matt Duchene 6 years ago?
Yeah, no.
And he lit up the scoreboard every game
Landeskog.
because he was the only. Even Landeskog didn't come until 4 years ago.
Yeah, McKinnon, same thing.
so
Paul Stastny.
let's be done with Carlson now, okay? That happened. Everybody knows about it. One thing I want to talk about too is
Paul
obviously
Stastny would be a nice transition.
what do we got to talk about Paul Stastny
I
for?
don't know that he got traded to the Golden Knights
He didn't get traded. Just fucking free agent.
or
you dumb
signed to the Golden
fuck.
Knights.
You dumb fuck.
Do you
Pat-
think?
oh, we
do you
didn't talk
think?
about Pacioretty
Do you
either.
think he's gonna make that big of an impact?
Let's
though?
talk about the Golden Knights. Golden Knights lost James Neal. They
Fuck
lost
him.
David Perron, and all they picked up was Paul Stastny. And then they had to go out and make a big trade to get Max Pacioretty.
Yeah.
And I think Pacioretty and Stastny are a better duo than James Neal and David Perron. But I still think the Golden Knights are going to have a letdown of a season.
I think they are a better duo than Neal and Perron, but I think that James Neal is a better player than both of them.
You think James Neal's a better player than Max Pacioretty?
Yes,
Ooh, that's a
Well,
hot take.
in every way. I've Max Pacioretty. Has not really done anything that I've thought is remarkable. But that's also because I hate Montreal. So
Yeah.
How
He's a
many?
fucking,
Let me
he's
ask.
elite.
Let me ask you,
Just
Dunk.
imagine, no, let me.
I
let
don't.
me
I
say
don't.
this.
I don't know enough about the situation to really elaborate. I just don't know anything about Max Pacioretty. So.
Yeah, but just think about this: like fucking the Montreal Canadiens, they've been around for like 100 years or so. He was a fucking captain in Montreal. How many fucking captains have there been in Montreal?
Okay, so is
Let's
Shea
fucking-
Weber.
Yeah, now he is. But Shea Weber is fucking one of the all-time great defensemen. I would say. I'd say the top 15 defensemen of all
Yeah.
time. Shea Weber
All time? No, not all time.
for his career.
I
top
could name you
15.
15 defensemen that are better than Shea Weber.
Go for it.
Are we doing this right now?
No,
All right.
well,
In the league currently, I can name you probably 5 defensemen that are better than him
all for his whole career.
for his whole career.
Yeah,
Yes,
career versus career. Name 5 better defensemen in the NHL right now.
in the NHL right now, career
Yeah.
versus career. Drew
Yeah.
Doughty.
One.
Well, it's weird because like Victor Hedman's in the league, but he's only been in the
2.
league for like 3 years. So can you compare a guy that's been in the league for 12 years compared
If
to a
you
guy?
think his body of work is better than Shea Weber,
So far, his body of work is better than Shea Weber. Yes, Victor Hedman, Brent Burns,
3.
Eric Carlson.
4.
oh, Eric Carlson's not fucking better than. I just don't like Eric Carlson.
No, I don't. Okay, scratch Eric Carlson.
3.
Ryan McDonough.
4.
Oh my god, no way.
Yes, I think
You would
Ryan,
take-
yeah, I would
You
take
would
Ryan
take Ryan
McDonough.
McDonough over
Yes.
Shea Weber in his prime.
Yes,
That's because you don't fucking like Nashville.
I
that's not
wouldn't.
true.
And I'm a Rangers fan. I wouldn't even take Ryan McDonough.
That's
I'd rather take Shea Weber than Ryan McDonough.
Shea
any
Weber in his
day.
prime, better than
And-
fucking McDonough. Better.
Wait,
than,
are we going by numbers or
Oh
by?
my god.
I'm talking about fucking like a Hall of Fame. Like if you're one of
So
these
you're
guys
saying
in the Hall
Shea
of Fame.
Weber isn't going in the Hall of Fame?
I'm saying he has a chance.
Body of work, not now, but in the past 10 years, Zdeno Chara.
I don't know.
What?
That's a tough one. Zdeno Chara in his prime versus Shea Weber in his prime.
Zdeno Chara in his prime 100% just
Yeah.
because he's
Why?
the-
Because he's got a fucking wingspan of a fucking Boeing 747?
Yes.
Like,
I mean, they're fucking taking up space, getting a pass line is part of a defenseman's job.
yeah.
So I mean,
But
I mean,
Weber's
even in
got a
his prime,
hell of
Ryan Suter in his prime is a freaking beast too.
not
Like-
better than Shea Weber.
Not better than Shea Weber, but still, I would put him a close second. They played on like the same line for the first 5 years of their career.
Yeah. I don't know,
Okay.
Ryan Suter- Yeah.
Anyways, I disagree with you, Dunk. So
All I
I'm
was saying is
dismissing-
that Max Pacioretty was the captain of the Montreal Canadiens, and no matter how you feel about them as a team, being a captain in Montreal is like fucking
Oh, I know.
absurd
It's,
expectations, and
it's like being the captain or being the best player of the Lakers. Like or
Yeah,
the
or-
Yankees.
yeah, it's like being a fucking like the goalie for like Team Canada or something like that.
No,
or,
I think not having as many. Well, I think he's going to have just as much expectations because of stupid Golden Knights fans that he did in Montreal. So
Pacioretty, yeah,
yeah,
he might. Well, let's talk about this now. Back to the captaincy. Do you think he will be the first captain in Golden Knights history now, since he signed a long term there?
well, he's already got the A. So
Yeah, but fucking 8 different players there were the A.
yeah, that's true.
So maybe when Derek England retires, they just feel bad about not making him captain. So
How
wait until
long?
he retires.
How long was his contract?
Pacioretty?
Yeah.
Didn't
He'll
sign
probably
for, like,
finish. He'll
4
probably
years.
finish his career in Vegas. I would imagine.
Yeah, he's going to be there for a while. Don't worry.
I'm not worried.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, then again, I don't know if he probably didn't do a very good job captaining Montreal, from what I've heard. So
Well, I mean, he did something right to fucking be there for that long and not being stripped of his A like Joe Thornton or Dustin Brown or people like that. Even Dustin Brown won 2 cups as captain.
yeah, but
Yeah.
but who else would the Canadians have had to make captain?
Anybody fucking else if they didn't want Max Pacioretty?
wait, how long has he been captain of Montreal? Or how long was he captain of Montreal? Who was captain before him?
I don't know. I wasn't prepared to have this conversation. I
No.
was just
Didn't they
saying.
have Saku
anyways.
Koivu? Wasn't Saku Koivu there before him?
I don't think he was a captain.
Or, I mean, Alex Kovalev was there. Was he a captain?
Well, first let me look up Max Pacioretty's contract right now.
Thomas Plekanec was the captain, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, and then
Was
he got
Plekanec
traded
a
to Toronto.
captain?
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So Max Pacioretty is playing out this year, and then after this year, he signed a 4-year extension. So he's gonna be there for 5 more years, guaranteed, in Vegas.
Yeah, he'll finish his career there.
Well, he'll resign there later too, but not for a fucking ton of money. But he'll
No,
definitely
he'll probably
finish.
sign another like 3-year deal or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Hmm.
So now let me look at Montreal Canadiens captains.
It was Brian Giunta and then Saku Koivu.
Gianta, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
They've had a lot of captains,
Yeah. Well, now that I look at it, yeah, they've had a
Yeah.
lot of fucking captains.
but their
Holy
captains have
shit.
been captains for like 5 to 10 years.
Except for
like, look,
fucking Mike
Saku
Keane.
Koivu 10 years.
Mike Keane, April to December.
Yeah,
Mike Keane.
but like John Belvo was captain for those guys were all captain for like 10 years.
Yeah. See, Max Pacioretty, captain. To
Yeah, so they've had a lot of captains, but they've also been a team for 100 years. So
well,
That's
it's
great.
not like it's not like the Red Wings where they've had 3 captains in the last 30 years.
Hey, Dunk, what team do you hate?
Montreal.
Okay,
Fuck
let's stop
'em.
talking about them.
okay.
I thought this was a
That's-
Golden Knights conversation.
That's a transition, I guess.
Anyway,
So
I don't hate the team of Montreal.
okay.
Just like I
Um,
don't hate the Golden Knights. I hate everything surrounding them.
What do you mean? You live there?
VGK
Anyways.
Mafia, buy my shirts. Love you.
Nice plug. So, moving on now.
Speaking of plugs, here's Dez.
Oh,
Good
bam! There's
one.
a transition,
There-
Dez.
There's a good one. I mean, you know what? From the Vegas Golden Knights, all right. So they had a really crappy start, obviously, to the beginning of the season.
It's been one game.
Yep,
been one-
just
Wait,
one
wait, wait.
game.
You-
And
wait, you know why? You know why
and
the Golden
they-
Knights lost their home opener?
why?
Because fucking gritty.
Oh,
baby.
Thank you. Thank you
yeah.
for
Let's
taking the
get
words
down
right out
to
of my
the
mouth.
nitty-gritty.
Yes.
The new face of the Around the Board
This
podcast.
is the new face of the
face of the-
NHL.
Yeah, that's
Gritty
what I'm
Mick
saying.
Gritterson.
He's the fucking face of hockey right now.
He
this
is the
dude.
greatest
with
thing
the
I've ever
googly
seen.
eyes.
I am a fan on board 100%.
You were on board from the get-go too.
I was on board from the get-go.
Everyone
I never
else
have
was fucking like, "What the hell is this?" You're on board.
I was not
fucking
on board.
OG. Everybody else hated it, and now, like, because it's become such like a meme, and like,
and now everyone loves it.
everyone loves it now.
3 weeks ago, first thing I said was I love it.
Yeah. Everyone else like, "You're an idiot. Fuck this. What the fuck is this?" And then everyone was talking shit like, "Oh, at least now we don't have the like Golden Knights fans. At least now we don't have the worst mascot." Like, yeah, yes, you fucking do. Your mascot's 5'5". Jesus Christ. You have 2
God, can you
mascots.
imagine if
Chance-
some way
Chance-
Philly is successful and they win the Stanley Cup? Imagine Gritty with the Stanley Cup.
Oh fuck.
No. Would it
Philly's
be
a
worse
good
than
team.
Ovechkin?
Yeah, Philly's a good team. Worse than Ovechkin. Ovechkin winning the cup was the best thing ever.
Yeah,
Ovechkin
but
was
the
crazy.
way they
That Milwaukee
partied, I'm talking
was-
about. Okay, I'm
besides
talking about
Kings being-
partying with the cup.
Well, Grady's not gonna party. He can't fucking drink. He's wearing a mask.
Nobody knows that.
Do you think Gritty? Who do we think Gritty is under there? Do you think it's just some hired person?
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
You think it's a guy or girl?
I think it's Ilya Brizgalov.
I think it's Ilya Brizgalov or Jacob Voracek.
Yeah.
All of like the memes and stuff are like saying that it's Jacob Voracek's brother.
I mean, maybe it's probably some fucking like weird like European guy.
Oh, my
Brizgalov.
goodness.
Yeah, dude. Brizgalov. No, if Brizgalov is your mascot, you'd want to have him be able to talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could you imagine being the person that's being Gritty? Like everyone loves you, or everyone hates you, or everyone loves you.
Everyone in Philly loves you now.
Yeah.
Him and the Philly Fanatic, fucking the best.
Yeah, Philly's
best.
the best mascot town in the country right now.
Oh,
Just
my
by
goodness.
those two. Fuck that fucking eagle.
Even the Eagles have a sick mascot,
I don't know. He doesn't do shit. He fucking
No,
has
but-
wings.
but he looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, he looks fucking badass with his wings and his jersey and everything that go together nice. But Gritty is the fucking. He's the
Take
Gritty,
down the Rocky
he
statue.
really stole the show.
Take down the Rocky statue.
That's-
Yeah, so we shell around the board shirts with the Gritty statue. On top
We
of
should
steps.
make Gritty stickers, and we should make everything.
And say, let's get to the nitty gritty.
Let's get to the
Yeah.
nitty-gritty.
Can we start every episode now for season 2? Say down to the nitty gritty.
If you want.
Yes. All right, moving on.
Should we talk about more mascots? No? Okay. Well, I was gonna say we were talking about the Golden Knights, how they I don't know. We were talking about the Golden Knights, and then I was gonna transition that into do you think they're gonna have a Stanley Cup hangover?
Yeah, here prediction. Just go Stanley for Vegas Golden Knights. What's your prediction? Quick, one sentence
For me,
for everyone.
3rd place in the division.
The Golden Knights?
Yep.
I don't think they're making playoffs.
Oh,
Okay.
What about you?
Sorry, click.
Based on how the West is, I think they'll make the playoffs, or they'll be close. I don't know. They're
great prediction.
no, like they're gonna.
What?
They're,
They'll be
they're
close.
either gonna, like I don't know. I think they're gonna squeak in if their West isn't as good.
Squeak, squeak.
But the West is great, so
So nobody has them winning the division again, back to back.
no, I think they'll struggle.
I
Top
don't
three in
even think they're
Pacific, then.
making it.
Top 3 teams.
Kings,
Number 1.
yeah,
Oh, over this
Just-
fucking
just for you.
Two North winners?
Team Norris.
Team Norse, dude. The fucking Pacific is stacked with
the
defensemen now.
Norris is the West is
Well, just think of the Pacific Division. You got Oliver Ekman Larson, Arizona, who fucking nobody ever talks about because Arizona's a shit stain, right? Des,
yeah.
That's right.
how are
Is
they gonna
Dallas,
do this year?
is Dallas in the
Nah.
Pacific?
They're not doing anything.
No.
No.
I'm gonna put that to rest.
All right, Des is officially off the
It's gone.
Arizona train.
It's gone. Train left me. I got
Yeah,
off.
you've got Ekman Larson, you've got Drew Doughty, you've got Jake Muzzin is always a sleeper. You've got Carlson, Burns,
Right. Vlasic, like you want to say.
Vlasic. You've got even if you go a little bit west or more, towards Dallas, John Klingberg is freaking good.
Yeah.
Like-
Well,
Hmm.
Dougie Hamilton's not in Calgary anymore.
No.
So, dude, how do you guys feel about Dougie Hamilton? Is he still an elite defenseman?
I've never thought Dougie Hamilton was good.
He was good in fucking Boston.
but
Disappeared in
that-
Calgary.
All of Boston's defense is great. You're easy to be good when you've got Chara and Torrey Krug.
I wouldn't use the word elite with Dougie Hamilton.
I mean,
No, I wouldn't. No.
Nope.
I was
I feel like there's maybe less than 10 defensemen you can use the word elite with in the league. And
Yeah.
I probably named 5.
and
of
we just
them.
named him like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe 2 of them play in the West. Three of them play in the West.
Yeah. So
God, you just think about the West for defensemen though. The Norris Trophy is going to go to the West this year. It's my prediction.
Are you sure it's not going to Pittsburgh with Jack Johnson?
No,
ooh.
Jesus Christ! Think about the West. So you got PK Subban, Roman Yossi, Dustin Bufflin, Drew Doughty, Brent Burns, Eric Carlson. God,
I don't know.
And
and then all the other guys:
fucking
John
scoring
Klingberg, Ekman Larson.
think the scoring power that they're playing against, fucking the Connor McDavid's of the world, the Brock Bessers, fucking all the young kids with speed.
Yeah, here's a hot take. The West is better than the East now.
I think the West has always been better than the East, except for fucking the top 2 teams like Pittsburgh or Washington.
And Tampa.
Yeah.
Tampa.
And now
Here's
Toronto.
how. Let's talk about Tampa here for a minute.
Go for it.
Wait, Toronto.
Alright.
Toronto's in the West still, aren't they?
No, Toronto's in the East.
Oh.
But let's talk about Tampa here. Every fucking year, they make like the best trades. They stack their fucking team. They're loaded on defense.
They're the best
Right.
team on paper.
We hand them the fucking Stanley Cup every year. They don't do shit in the fucking playoffs. Every year.
Is Tampa becoming the new Washington?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, pretty soon, like if Tampa does not win the cup this year or next year, are we gonna start talking about blowing them up and rebuilding them? Because
Maybe Yzerman left for a reason.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe fucking sabotage.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just think fucking Tampa Bay, like last year, everyone hands down. Fucking yep, give them the cup. They got McDonough.
Yeah.
They got fucking Hedman. They got
Stamkos and
fucking
Kucherov.
Sergachev. Yeah, they got all those guys.
Sergachev. Well, no, Sergachev isn't on the Lightning anymore, is he?
No, he is.
But still, Washington surprised everybody and went all the way with it. And like their, previous years where they've got eliminated first round.
I don't know if they'd say they surprised everyone, but they certainly exceeded people's expectations.
Yeah.
Well, because usually we think of Washington as a team that always fizzles out in the playoffs, and we don't even think about Tampa Bay that way. And now
Right.
No.
last year, Washington fucking beat Pittsburgh finally,
Mm-hmm.
and then just went all the way. And Tampa Bay lost again.
Yep.
Nobody said anything about it, right?
Nope.
I don't know. If you're a fucking Tampa Bay
I-
fan,
I feel like everyone was just so happy that Washington did it that no one cared about Tampa.
yeah, nobody just talked about Tampa Bay. Like Tampa
True.
Bay did not win the Stanley Cup again, and everyone handed to them in the fucking middle of the season when they're the best team, and they're fucking lighting up the scoreboards. I don't know.
True.
Like I think just the top 2, like Washington and Pittsburgh are the top 2 in the Pittsburgh. They're like the fucking Patriots of the NHL. They're gonna be there every year.
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby is the fucking Tom Brady of the NHL. He's just always going to be a winner and be at the top, near the top in the talks for the championship every year. And fucking Tampa Bay Lightning are always like everyone's darlings that never fucking make it.
Nope.
I just had to get that off my chest.
And then you'll have sleeper picks like the Winnipeg Jets. You're
How-
welcome,
how good-
everyone.
How good does that pick look now that you said last year?
Yeah.
Damn, now they're fucking.
Remember 3 weeks before we did a freaking preseason podcast?
It's just
we
because you
did-
love
we did
Patrick
our-
Laine.
I do love Patrick Laine, but I also love Dustin Bufflin and Blake Wheeler.
Yeah.
And
We did and Mark Scheifele and fucking Ellers and all those guys. I remember we did our playoff or our brackets or whatever, right?
our preseason playoff predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone had the Golden Knights finishing to the last. That's the worst team. Damn, we were wrong. Except for about Winnipeg. At least you were right about Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of the Knights now,
We just fucking talked about the Knights for an hour.
yeah, no, I know,
like-
and I want to get back to them a little bit.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
Do we
I
have
mean,
to?
Bring me
I
back.
I could save it for next week. Don't worry about it. What's
No, go
next?
for it.
What do we got?
Well, I was gonna say, since we're talking about sleeper picks, is there any team this year that you guys think might be the sleepers?
Winnipeg.
Hmm.
Well, Winnipeg's not fucking a sleeper anymore.
Buffalo.
Like,
no,
who
I'm just kidding.
Who can even think about like being a sleeper team now? Because every team is so good.
Like every
like besides somebody like Arizona or like the Panthers or somebody like that.
yeah, like
or
last year or 2 years
Buffalo.
ago, Toronto was a sleeper, and now they're practically a lock.
Yeah,
like-
especially with John Tavares, like they're predicted to win the Stanley Cup. But like even like a team like Dallas is a really fucking good team. They could be real fucking good this year. I don't know if you would consider them a sleeper or not, though.
I don't think they're a sleeper either because they've been good for 5 or 6 years now.
Tyler Seguin is one of the top players in the NHL
Tyler Seguin's probably one of the most underrated players in the league just because he plays in Dallas.
just because he plays in Dallas. Yeah,
yeah, if he were in New York or in Toronto or in
Pittsburgh
LA
or
or
fucking-
Pittsburgh,
yeah.
or,
something with the mark. If he was in Toronto, he'd be the fucking god.
it's
If he played in Canada,
it's like Tyler Seguin and Kopitar. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
There's really not much of a sleeper, I guess.
See, but then like I would say like are the Kings a sleeper? Like
I mean, they
'cause
shouldn't be.
they're a playoff team. My sleeper, the Detroit Red Wings.
I mean, a sleeper could be like the Islanders, right?
No.
I guess. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like there's a big shift. Like there's a bunch of really, really good teams and then a bunch
Yeah.
of really, really bad teams. There's not a
Yep.
lot of teams in the
it's
middle
like
of the road.
yeah, it's like everyone that's gonna make the playoffs are all really fucking good, and teams that don't make the playoffs
Are really
you
bad.
expect them. Yeah,
Like
you expect them.
Arizona and Buffalo and Ottawa and Florida. Like
Yeah. Like you just
Florida
don't,
could be a sleeper though. Florida's got a lot of players
dude,
that nobody
I don't
knows.
fucking trust Florida now because they just fucking don't know what they're doing down there.
And that's the same
Yeah.
thing with Ottawa too. They don't know what the hell they're doing up there either.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like Ottawa, they made that trade for Matt Duchene. They're like, yeah, we're gonna fucking go deep. No, you guys fucking.
Here, I've got a sleeper for you, which I'm not even sure if it's a sleeper, but we'll see.
Let's see.
Columbus Blue Jackets.
I mean, I predicted them to beat the fucking Capitals last year in the playoffs.
See,
But-
it's like when you say that, like every team, they're
Like,
like,
you
oh,
can
this team could be a sleeper, and they're
Yeah, you
not.
can make an argument for that. They're a really good fucking team, though.
Yeah, every team. Like I said, there's nobody like in the middle of the road. You know,
Except
like,
for Detroit. If
I
Detroit
guess
goes
the-
back and makes the playoffs,
the one team that I can think of off the top of my head right now, it's like in the middle of the road, is probably like Anaheim.
but I mean,
You
Corey
know.
Perry's out for like
See,
months,
yeah, so
Yeah.
like
and
I
they're
don't
just
know.
getting old. They're older than the fucking Kings now, I think.
What
Yeah.
then? What about the Wild?
see,
Well,
like, it's
You know,
Yeah, like I don't
they
like the Wild. Should be a
Wild
fucking
are
good
hit or
team.
miss. You know, so they could be a sleeper in a way.
like you think about like let's just use Canadian teams for an example. Like Edmonton,
Vancouver.
they're pretty okay. Like
They got the fucking best player on the planet, or arguably
Yeah,
one of the best.
Toronto, they're probably going to make it. Winnipeg's
Calgary.
probably going to make it again. And then you've got Calgary, who could possibly make it. But then you have Vancouver, who's trash, and you have Ottawa, who's trash, and you have Montreal, who is probably going to be trash too. Like, there's nobody in the middle that's like, you know,
Hmm.
like
Nah.
there's no middle of the
No.
road teams that are sleepers.
No sleepers, but that was a good try. That was a
No
good,
sleep, no
was a
sleep
good
till
question.
Brooklyn.
Ooh,
That was a
are you
good
talking about the
question.
Islanders or what?
Yep.
How do
How do
we?
you wait? Can we talk about the Islanders for 1 second?
Yes, I would love to, because
Can I just get your guys' opinion
Because-
on them splitting home games in fucking Brooklyn and the Nassau?
What are they doing?
Like what the fuck?
That
Like I
whole-
want to. We should get one of their season ticket holders on here and be like, so how does this whole thing work?
Yeah. So like, do you have to? So like, one game it's in Brooklyn, one game it's in Long Island, and you have to commute.
Yeah, I don't know
like,
what the.
that whole arena situation that the Islanders have is just so
Yeah,
screwed up.
So I don't even fully understand what happened. So they
It's so
moved to
screwed
Brooklyn,
up.
and then they said, okay, we're going to build a stadium in Long Island.
No, the
didn't
island
wanna
the
play-
island had Nassau Coliseum. It's no longer
Yeah,
called
which-
Nassau
Which is
Coliseum.
garbage stadium.
Right. No, but
they want to renovate it.
right, they renovated it, gave it a new name. It's nicer now, and so that the foundation of the arena was built for hockey. So it already
Unlike
has
fucking Barclays Center.
Right, unlike the Barclays Center that was not made for hockey, but that's where they put the rink for whatever.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of bad
screwed up
sightlines in
reason.
Barclays.
Oh, dude, it's terrible. It's
Dude, have you
absolutely
seen
terrible.
the fucking? There's a fucking like SUVs on the glass
on the corner boards.
because they can't fucking put any seats there.
And wait. The best part, the fucking jumbotron is off-centered ice. It's off-centered. It's like on the fucking blue line. It's not
it's, like,
even in the
above the
middle of
fucking
the
goalie.
ice.
Why don't they just like? I know this is probably never going to work because it's the most popular arena in the world. But why don't they just split Madison Square Garden?
I just want to slap you so hard right now for saying that.
I know it's
Dunk,
because
shut up.
they're not.
Shut
I
up.
know it's
Shut up.
I know it's because they're not in the city and they're not like a New
Shut
York
up.
City team.
No.
But,
let
like,
him speak.
No.
Why don't they just let them split it for a season?
No, that's why they let them split between the Long Island and Brooklyn now, where they currently are.
Okay, so why not? It's so much trouble. It's so stupid. Just let them split.
Well,
Just
I'm
let 'em-
sure.
I think
I'm sure there's scheduling conflicts with Madison
Yeah,
Square Garden
it'd
because
be
it's
way
such
too
a
fucking
popular
Yeah,
arena.
of course, because they
It's
have
like-
concerts and
Right.
they have
So
everything.
there you go. That's why they wouldn't do it.
But
Yeah,
like, I
there's-
mean, like it's. I guess think about like how the Jets and the Giants split.
They play one day
Meadowlands.
a week.
Yeah, they
though.
play.
I know, they play one
once
day
a
a week,
week.
though, I know.
Right. That's
That's
easier.
like there's too many
It's just-
fucking home
It
games.
just there has to be an easier
Split arena.
solution.
Right.
Like
And there's not many events going on at MetLife Stadium.
there's has to be a different solution. It's so dumb.
I don't know. Anyways, yes, that
How are
whole
you supposed to
Islander
develop a home ice
situation
advantage?
is so screwed up. It's just so.
I can't wait to
it's
fucking
just
see how
so
the season
screwed up.
goes. They got Barry Trotz though, so good for them. They got a
They
coach.
have a new superstar captain too,
Yeah.
Oh, who's that? Tell
Anders
us.
Lee.
Anders Lee.
Ooh.
But one thing we never even touched on yet, we talked about Tavares, obviously, but he was not in Toronto when we finished this podcast last season. So this
Yes,
is
he
new.
was.
Was he?
No.
Yeah,
no.
he was.
but
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he was. I guarantee you. We had a fucking episode about it. Look in the archives.
Maybe.
Somebody proved us wrong.
But so how do we think this is going to affect the Islanders now? Obviously, they lost a huge score, but
what a weird question.
do we see them, the future of the team now?
Matt Barzal is the future of the Islanders, and everyone knows
Yeah,
that.
they gotta fucking lock him up. They gotta make sure he retires as a fucking Islander, unless somebody
Give him a 20-year.
Hold on,
deal
hold
right
on.
now.
unless he starts
hold on.
sucking.
Hold on. So we got to make sure. They got to make sure the Islanders organization have to make sure they locked up Barzal, right?
Or
Which-
trade him before he
right.
fucking is a free agent.
Yeah, see, here's my thing.
So
is
see
that,
now,
like,
here's the thing. What if it goes back to the same thing and they go back to the old roots, like the whole Tavares situation? Now, are they going to make
do you
that
mean?
mistake twice? If they make that mistake twice,
No, there's no possible way.
the Islanders fans are probably going to riot because they already
If they
rioted
lose
once they
Barzal,
lost
yeah.
Tavares. So if they lose Barzal in the same situation,
Well, first of all, before we talk about losing Barzal, we don't know what the fuck his rest of his career is going to be because they wanted to make Rick DiPietro the face of their franchise. They
yeah, it
locked
could have
him
been a
up.
flash in the pan.
So, I mean, look how well that worked out for him.
Barzal centering the first line. Now he's going to be playing against a lot of good players in the East.
yeah.
Yeah, fucking Bergeron. Hello.
Bergeron, Crosby, Backstrom, like
Hello.
yeah, Stamkos. Like there's a lot of good centers in the East.
Like Barzal's probably going to be, we'll say more than likely, he's going to be a pretty good player for the rest of his career. But there's
yeah, I
always
think
a
he's
chance
going to
that
be
he's
like
not.
a Nathan McKinnon player, kind of like
Well, Nathan
never
Off the
leading
charts
the
last year.
yeah, but like never, not
Yeah.
superstar, but
So,
pretty,
I mean,
pretty
you
good.
can't really like predict like if they're going to lose him when he's a free agent. Just let him play out his contract and let them see how his career goes. If he's a superstar, though, they definitely cannot let him go.
Do you think
That's-
that the
everybody knows.
uncertainty of the team that is Islanders right now is enough to make him not want to stay though? Like, you think if all this shit continues with
It's all
having 4 stadiums that you play in, and
it's
like-
all personal to people.
Yeah.
Like fucking some players just want to like play for one team the rest of their career and stuff like that. And some players just want to go where the big money is, or some teams want to be like the only superstar on the team. So there's a lot of different factors, I would think.
yeah.
I'm
I have an interesting topic that could change things up pretty quickly if you guys want to talk about something else.
do it. Throw some
So
curveballs.
So I'm going to talk about the Red Wings for a second. So they did the Henrik Zetterberg like tribute and puck drop and stuff last night, right? So I want to talk about
That'd be Thursday night.
yeah, what do you guys think about the quote unquote retirement / long-term injured reserve situation that's going on in the NHL?
You mean like Marian Hossa and all that?
Like
fucking shit?
Marian Hossa, like Chris Pronger, like Henrik Zetterberg play like I feel like this is kind of like a backdoor solution to not having to pay your players. Like, I mean, they're still getting paid, but they're not in the books, Like,
Yeah. I
like
don't
the
know.
Red Wings just got out of three more years of Henrik Zetterberg's contract by saying that he's too injured to play.
So you know what that means?
What?
That means next year Arizona is going to trade for him just so they can fucking reach a salary cap
Get
for
to the
him.
bottom of the set. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, how is this okay? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I
don't
know
know.
you guys
I
can't really
have-
speak on it because you're not experiencing
Right,
that
but-
at all with either one of your teams.
I have no comment on it, I guess.
I
It-
think
it is what it
well,
is,
the new
unfortunately.
the new collective bargaining agreement between the Players Association and NHL is gonna expire here soon.
Mhm.
So I'm sure that's gonna be one of the things to talk about during then is how they could make this issue, or for lack of a better term, go away or something like that, or different results from it, or
I mean, I'm kind of okay with it because 2 of my players from my team have been affected by it, and my team's saving money. But like,
you mean Datsuk?
yeah, Datsuk and then even in Zetterberg, like we're still paying both of them.
Well, no, Arizona's paying Datsuk.
Oh yeah, but they're still being paid.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Arizona will just fucking there'll always be the fucking bottom, like the Islanders. You fucking traded for Tim Thomas the one year, remember when he would refuse to play?
Yeah.
They said we'll take his contract just so that we can reach the salary cap when young players. So
It's just so weird because like you don't really hear about that in other sports, do you? Like,
I mean,
Not that situation.
not with salary caps really, because like baseball, there's no salary cap. Basketball, everyone's making they got maximum contracts, so everyone's making the same fucking.
yeah, I guess
superstar.
hockey has the harshest salary cap in all sports, probably. But
Like salary cap in hockey is like the biggest one of any of the 4 major sports here in North America. It's like
yeah, one basketball player makes the entire fucking Red
Pretty
Wings
much.
salary in a season.
pretty
like-
much.
It's, but I don't know. It's weird though because it's like usually it's a quote unquote like higher end players like Zetterberg and Datsuk and Pronger
On the back end of their
and-
shirt, yeah.
and Hossa. Like it's not like these like bottom of the barrel like fourth line grinders that are still
mean,
getting
like,
paid.
Nathan Horton, isn't he still getting paid by somebody?
Probably
like David
Buffalo
Clarkson
or
and-
Boston, I think.
I think one of them, either David Clarkson or Nathan Horton. One of them's on like the Golden Knights roster. I'm pretty sure, just for salary cap reasons.
It's just so weird to me. Like they have to fix it because it's I don't know. I feel like it's a joke, but it's not a super important topic. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So personal teams. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
go for
personal
it.
teams.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Dad.
Oh, you want me to go first with the New York
Yeah,
Rangers?
of course. You're sitting there doing nothing.
Hey, Pavel. Hey.
Boo, Pavel.
Boo,
Oh, I have two
Pavel.
names to add to the pronunciation list when you're done with your segment. So
It's a little throwback for our listeners to the
Boo
Yay, Jeff, or
Pavel.
Yay Sports with Jeff.
yes, I have two names to add once we're done.
So obviously, everything's going through with the rebuild with the New York Rangers right now. With new head coach David Quinn. No more AV, thank God.
finally.
You know,
Stop
it's
talking about that shit.
I know, oh, God, but I don't think it'll ever go away. I'm somehow gonna just like go back to him, like because I was about to mention
PTSD flashback.
how like I was about to mention how they showed a video clip of David Quinn on the bench in the middle of preseason games, just talking to his players. You never saw
look
that.
cute.
You never saw that with AV. You never saw AV communicating with players. He's always quiet there,
Chewing his bubble gum.
chewing his gum, making it pop. But one of
Pop, baby.
one of the things that Pavel Buchnevich said in an interview when he was back in his home country in the off season
What country is
was
that?
was about how
The motherland.
was about how AV basically disciplined him when he wasn't playing good, but not like
Spanking.
putting the
Dad.
pressure so much on him to a point to where like, oh, you're not playing good, you're gonna be sitting out next game. And Buchnevich isn't that type of player. Like the dude's got quite the skill set. You know, he's got quite the hockey IQ. He's got quite the skill set. And then, like I was talking about the video, they showed the video of David Quinn talking to Buchnevich, saying they're basically just encouraging him, saying, yes, that was good. Keep that up, patting him on the shoulder. And like, you know, you got to feel bad for the player somehow, you know, where in a way where you got to feel bad that, you know, here's this coach talking smack about you and disciplining you, bringing you down or to the fourth line, or even taking you out of the roster in the next game when, you know, now you get this new head coach fresh.
Let me ask you a
Fresh.
question.
Go
So, are you a fan of Herb Brooks?
Yes, of course.
All right, so it works. So I have no problem. I have no problem with AV doing that.
AV doing what? What are you talking about?
Disciplining young players and putting a fire up in
more
their
out of
ass.
them.
Mike Babcock did the same thing for years.
It's different. It's
Yeah,
different.
but-
different players react.
I just don't
Right.
think AV is a good coach. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, and
Oh, I don't know. I
and
think the thing
not-
with AV is that he doesn't like change his style. He won't like accommodate like
Yeah.
right,
well.
The
I know I can
change
push
to
this
the
guy, but I
NHL.
can't really push this guy the same.
right, exactly. And the NHL changes. It's changing. It's
Yep.
still changing.
It's,
But,
it's a kid's
um,
game now.
So I'm excited to see David Quinn's style of play. I'm excited to see the players adapt to that. Like we mentioned, I think we mentioned it last year. In the last previous episode last season was expectations for our teams. I believe we did it for next year. That'd be this season. Still, it's
Kings and the Kings winning
right.
Kings
right.
winning the Stanley Cup.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's still the same for me for the Rangers. You know, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not expecting them to. So I got low expectations, but I'm still very excited to see the kids play because they got a lot of rookies coming up. One thing that pissed me off actually was the fact that Elias Anderson didn't make the team, and
Yeah, I saw that.
on opening night. Instead, Cody McLeod did. Like, speaking of the NHL changing, the NHL is becoming a faster skill set paced game where Cody McLeod is known for his gritty.
Still
God
need
damn it,
checking
gritty.
line.
Fuck
but
that stupid mascot.
but they did
The
play. They
grittiness.
did play Nashville though, so
Yeah, but
they played Smashville.
right,
so
but still, like, and Cody McLeod wasn't even in the lineup though. He
he didn't even play.
right, he was scratched.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so you'd rather have.
But
Elias
still,
Anderson
I'd rather have
than
Elias
scratch?
Anderson that's more skilled and
So you'd
who
rather have Elias
who
Anderson
wants to
scratched
prove
instead of
something.
McLeod
So
Yeah,
that
they
was
sent-
that was
they have
kind
Elias
of
Anderson
upsetting.
down the minors so he could play, so he could play just like
Right.
Detroit has the D
Right.
in the minors.
Right,
Yeah.
and I'm sure Anderson's getting first line minutes down in Hartford.
Yeah,
I'm
because he's
I'm
not
sure
gonna
he
make-
is,
he's
but
not gonna
it
make
was
the lineup
just-
every night
it
in the
was-
NHL,
right.
So why have him scratched?
right. I don't know. It was just upsetting, I guess, because I was looking forward to that, but
because he's your favorite player. We all know.
we'll have to wait.
So yeah,
But I mean, there's so many players to look forward to. Philip Hedl,
Heedle, the Heedle monster.
Philip Hedl, this new kid Brett Howden came through. He ended up making the roster opening night. And there's a lot of kids that it's definitely gonna be fun to watch. But again, not expecting them to make the playoffs this season.
You know who made the Kings roster this year?
Ilya Kovalchuk.
Ilya Kovalchuk.
wait.
baby.
Before we continue on though, real quick, Des, do you have any thoughts about the game that the Rangers played, the first game?
No, it was sloppy. It was it was definitely they had some sloppy points and then they had some good points where they had Nashville on their heels and the Rangers were on their toes. And I mean, Vesey looked good. Vesey had scoring opportunity after scoring opportunity. The downside of that was he did not finish. But I mean, he had a lot of good scoring opportunities. You see him playing with a lot of confidence, and that's a good way to start the season. So and Hank looked in.
What?
Hank looked in.
Oh, shit.
Lundqvist looked great, and Lundqvist made a lot of great saves. So he could keep that up. He can be himself and keep doing Hank things, and
And
It'll
waste away
be-
the rest of his career like he did for the first part of his career.
and then it'll be a fun season. So.
So, are you going to be disappointed if they get blown out in a game still? Because you expect them to actually compete, though, right?
Blown out is a different. Yeah, getting blown out would suck, obviously, for any team. Like how,
Yeah, but you're not expecting it to happen, right?
like how
like
Boston
last year,
got
you said,
blown
fuck it,
out
lose every
by
game,
Washington
don't give a shit.
in the first game of the season. Boston got just demolished. But that's not fun to watch when you're a fan. And I even said that. To my cousin who was watching the game with me. I was like, I cannot imagine being a Boston fan getting blown out in the first game, like
On national TV.
Yeah, on national television.
fuck.
Being a team that could have easily been in Washington's place last season.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
It's not like they
Anyways,
played
so-
a chump team. It's not like they played Florida and killed them.
So, could we talk about Bruins' expectations this year or no?
nah.
How about we
who
talk
cares?
about the Russian machine that never breaks?
Is that Ilya Kovalchuk?
That's Ilya Kovalchuk. Go for it.
Are you sure it's not Alexander Ovechkin?
Yeah, that's every Russian player.
So Ilya Kovalchuk, he's obviously as we're recording now, the Kings have yet to play their first game, but he was talking about like the preseason games and talking about like the difference between like NHL stadiums and fucking KHL stadiums. He's like, felt like I was in a football arena. Things are fucking huge for them. So he's like, he like forgot how it was to play in the NHL now, but I mean his skill set's still there. I think him and Kopitar are gonna mesh real well together, and their fucking power play is gonna be sick.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the fucking passing plays. Kovalchuk's got a fucking hell of a shot. That's what the Kings have needed for so long. They need somebody to score besides Jeff Carter, and Pearson was not cutting it. Like he's a
Yeah,
good
Tyler
player
Toffoli.
still. Tyler Foley, he could rip some too, but he's not consistent enough. They need like a consistent goal scorer on that line for Kopitar. Because Dustin Brown last year, he fucking had a career high in points. And this-
Dustin Brown came out of nowhere.
yeah, and then you know what happens last preseason game? Fucking breaks his finger out indefinitely. God damn it. So I expect the Kings to get off to a slow start, but I would much rather have them because last year they got off to a great start and then Jeff Carter got hurt and they kind of faded out in the playoffs. Obviously, they scored like 2 fucking goals against Golden Knights. So I'm kind of seeing like a reverse of that this year. I hope that they start off slow and they're going to be like 500. Then Dustin Brown's coming back, and then they're going to all mesh, and they're going to finish strong and hot. And Jonathan Quick's going to get hot in the playoffs and win them another Stanley Cup, baby.
Speaking of hot, that picture of Ilya Kovalchuk.
Guns out, baby.
Guns out.
Hell yeah. I don't know. I'm a real big Ilya Kovalchuk fan now.
Yeah, you're forgiving him
Forgive him for what? He didn't do shit to me.
for being a pansy piece of shit to New Jersey.
It doesn't affect me at all.
So expectations for the Kings? Never mind. Dunk.
they're
Let's
gonna
move
cut.
on to you.
I would say they make it they're not going to win their division. The Kings
Oh,
never fucking
wow,
win their
okay.
division.
Okay.
It's either the Sharks will win their division or the Golden Knights will win the division again, but Kings are going to be second or third.
All right.
But they're going to roll teams in the playoffs, baby.
Yeah.
That's what we said about the last year too.
Dunk.
That's different.
How about your Detroit Red Wings?
The Red Wings, they're good. They played Columbus last night, which was Thursday night. They lost in overtime. We had 5 rookies in the starting lineup, which was the first time ever in like 20 years that I've seen something like that from the Red Wings, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We had Dennis Cholowski was his last name. He's a 20-year-old Dennis Cholowski. Is a 20-year-old rookie. He scored his first goal in his first game. He's supposed to be like a stud defenseman, apparently. We have Mike Green, Nicholas Cronwall, and Jonathan Harrison on the injured reserve, which I'm okay with. We played Columbus, and they started their backup goalie in the first game of the season instead of Bobrovsky, which was interesting.
Was he
And
hurt or
they're-
something? Or
No, it's just they wanted him to start the home opener, not their away game, I guess. I don't know.
what, they played back to back already?
Yeah, they played tonight. Yeah, they played Carolina tonight. But here's their starting goalie's name. So it's Junis or Hunis, Joonas,
Okay.
and then Corpusal, Korpisal.
Yeah.
Never heard of him before. Played great. I mean, the Wings only had like 20 shots in the whole game. Jimmy Howard played fantastic. I can't believe I'm saying it. He had 36 shots on him, and they scored 3 goals. So I think the end of the game was like 40 shots and 3 goals. And they had 16 shots alone in the third period against Jimmy Howard, and they played pretty well.
Are you expecting a bounce back here from Jimmy Howard now that Mrazek's gone?
Yes,
You think Jimmy Howard's getting back on his confidence boost?
I think him and Bernier are going to split time, to be honest, but because they signed Jonathan Bernier. I think that
Lucky you
getting rid
guys.
of Mrazek was the best thing they could have done, because having 2 veteran goalies with a team full of rookies and young players is probably a good idea, because you have to lean on your goalie, and what better goalies to lean on than veteran goalies that have been there and done that before, I think.
Yeah.
The only complaint I have was overtime. We played 3-on-3, and they had Luke Glendening and Trevor Daley out on 3-on-3
Why?
in overtime because
Wow.
they were being conservative and defensive.
Wait, they're both out there at the same time?
Well, Trevor Daley's a defenseman, yeah, and then Luke Glendening is a 4th-line center for the Wings.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't understand if they like didn't put them together. Like,
No, they had them
have
out
somebody out there with
it was them 2, and then I think Danny DeKaiser was the other defenseman. So they had 2 defensemen and 1
Jeez.
forward in 3-on-3 against Artemi Panarin and Werenski and somebody else. So that was my only complaint is, what the fuck are you doing when you have Dylan Larkin, Anthony Ciu, Anthony Mantha,
they're trying to hold it and take it to a shootout.
which Detroit did great in shootouts last year. We were one of the best teams in shootouts last year.
That's why they put all their fucking defensive players out there.
But like, what are you? Trevor Daley is a good defensive defenseman, but he shouldn't be on 3-on-3 overtime.
He's gonna get burnt every time.
And yeah, I don't know what we were thinking, and it showed because Panarin circled the net like circled the zone 3 times and then sniped it top corner to win the game 2 minutes into overtime. But other than
Oh,
that,
dude, I want to talk. I was going to talk about sick goals this year too that are already happened.
but I think the Red Wings are. My prediction, real quick, is if we play all of our young players all year, I would be fine with that, even if we sucked.
Just to get experience.
Just like leave Cronwall, leave Mike Green, leave Jonathan Erickson out of the lineup. Just let them play. Like, I don't know, if we have our young kids play and they play good. I mean, we went 6-1 in the preseason, which doesn't matter, but with all of our rookies playing, we went 6-1 in the preseason, which is pretty good. But
they won't sit Mike Green, obviously.
yeah, well, especially
Or
because
Cronwall.
no, well, they could sit Cronwall. I think they're going to do the long-term injured reserve thing with Cronwall because he basically doesn't have human legs anymore. But Mike Green, they just signed Mike Green to a 3-year extension or something, so they have to play him.
Yeah.
So finishing the
Fucking
season,
right.
What?
where do you expect the Red Wings to finish the season?
On the cusp of the playoffs, that's what I expect.
I think they're going to do better than last season. I think maybe in
Step it up a couple
third or
slots.
fourth in the division, I guess.
Oh, okay. It would be okay.
Can I make a hot take real quick about the Red Wings?
Yeah.
I think they missed the playoffs this year, and the next year they start another streak of 20 years in a row or whatever, making the playoffs.
Jeez.
Yeah, you think why? Because they'll get Yzerman.
Well, yeah, and because they're fucking good and young, and once you make the playoffs
Yeah.
once, you fucking want to make it more and fucking do more and be better. And so I think once
No,
they,
it's
once
an
they finally
interesting-
break through and make the playoffs with that young team, then they're gonna be there for a while.
It's an interesting time for me, at least. I mean, Des can maybe speak on this too, maybe not Rob, but like growing up my entire life, the Red Wings were like my parents' Red Wings. Now I feel like this is like
Yeah.
my Red Wings because they're all players that are like the same age as us.
Yeah, right.
And like and I'm gonna watch the next 20 years of hockey and watching the start of these players' careers,
Yeah.
Like I feel like this is a new, in 10 or 15 years or whatever, when the Red Wings win the Stanley Cup again, however long it is, like I'll be like, I remember watching that player play his first NHL game,
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Like-
when they retire and shit.
Yeah, like how 25 years ago my dad watched Steve Yzerman play his first game. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
the same kind of thing.
Oh yeah. So
I'm excited.
We're getting old.
So
I
I know. Damn it.
We're getting old. They're fucking 18-year-old in the Red Wings lineup last night. I was like, are you kidding me?
Jared Anderson Dolan made the Kings roster because of Dustin Brown's injury.
Yeah, look at the best player in the
19
league.
years,
Connor
not 30
McDavid.
years.
Connor McDavid's what, 20 years old? Like,
Yeah,
God.
Ridiculous. So let's end with this. I just want to say it. Tom Wilson doing Tom Wilson things. Okay.
Next week we gotta have like a goon fucking segment.
Oh yeah, and but Tom Wilson suspended 20 games. Agree, disagree.
it.
Go.
He's appealing
he's
it.
appealing it.
Yes, but do you think Gary Bettman's gonna accept
I
it?
don't.
No, I think he's gonna.
He's
maybe-
got too much blood on his hands. He's been through this
That
so
hit
many
wasn't
times.
that bad though. He's done
Yeah,
so
see,
much
he's a
worse.
repeat offender,
Right.
but this time wasn't the worst thing he's ever done.
No,
This is like fucking throwing OJ in jail for fucking
right, but
burglary. when he
the
fucking
NHL is
they got away with
all
it.
about getting rid of those headshots, and that's what this was.
But
so
no,
it's
if
like,
you watch, no, it wasn't. If you watch the replay of it though, the guy, whoever he hit, last second decided to like shoot the puck and try to get rid of the puck and leaned over to shoot. He leaned into getting in the
Well,
head. Like,
yeah,
Like,
but
there's no way you could fucking hit him anywhere else.
Right,
when it's
but
hit.
no.
Tom Wilson was blindsiding him too, so that was another factor.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
well, yeah, but you're allowed
anyways.
to blindside people. It's not his fault that the guy didn't fucking.
yeah, Tom
Right.
Wilson's a dirty player, but
Right.
like you also, I said this last year on the podcast that getting hit is just like knowing how to get hit is just as important as knowing how to hit.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
You gotta expect to get hit.
And
Like,
Tom
if you're
Wilson went
open
through this
ice,
like
fucking
off
keep your
training
head up,
thing,
son.
and Wilson went through this off training thing off season to like how to make himself a better player,
yeah,
and doesn't look
And
like
he
it was
got a
working
shit
out
ton
for
of
him.
money, too.
yeah,
Don't forget, they re-signed him to a shit ton of money.
yeah.
So,
I don't know. Like,
anyways,
growing up my entire life, the entire time I played sports, they were like they teach you how to fall properly.
Right.
Like I feel like they should teach you how to get hit properly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. So, anyways,
Must be
that-
nice to be able to lose $1.5 million.
I can't wait to talk about Ryan Reeves next week.
Oh, I love Ryan Reeves. I'm a fan.
Are we talking about
I
Ryan
know,
Reeves
yeah.
next week?
Yeah, we're doing the goon segment.
Okay.
I'll talk about it. Don't worry. I'll bring it
Alright,
up somehow.
We can have a goon segment.
We
Also,
we got a lot of special stuff in store for you guys this season.
Best goons in
yes,
the league: Ryan Reeves, Tom Wilson, and Gritty.
we also have another new segment. Rob, you want to take this one away?
That was
Nope.
my idea.
Go for it, Dunk.
I have to talk.
Yep.
Are we talking about the hat trick topic? The hot okay.
hat trick
uh,
challenge, baby?
So we're gonna do the hat trick challenge. That's a tentative title,
Work in
where
progress.
we are gonna potentially randomly select a topic to talk about, whether it's pulling names out of a hat or just like searching on NHL news or something.
Or
No.
Twitter.
And
names out of a hat. We're pulling.
we're
hat.
gonna name out of a hat. We're gonna talk about probably some trending topics, probably some funny things like who's got the biggest dick in the league
What?
or something.
Or
And
our listeners could send us in ideas for topics for our hat trick challenge if you hit us up on the Twitter sphere.
yeah, so send us
Sphere.
questions, and then it'll maybe be like a 5-minute segment, and we'll talk about whatever
we pull out of the hat.
whatever fate decides, whether it's who's going to win the goal scoring race or who would win in a mascot fight or
That's a good one.
who is the best singer in the NHL or something.
Something.
Best
Or
dressed.
just talk about
best
how
looking.
the Florida Panthers had 700 people at a preseason game.
Or which
Ooh.
one of us 3 podcasters has the best facial hair.
Anyways, so yes, guys, hit us
Me,
up.
I've had mine for years.
Hit us up on all your social media stuff. Send us your thoughts. Send us your questions for next week's hat trick challenge. Hit us up on Twitter at _ATB podcast. YouTube as well. We got our YouTube listener.
Pornhub.
I'm sorry, I
Pornhub's
forgot.
coming soon.
I'm sorry, I forgot your name, YouTube listener.
Oh,
It
Oops.
was, it was,
and if you
it was
want
Robbie's
some,
friend. LA
some
Kings fan.
fire Vegas Golden Knights merchandise,
VGKmafia.redbubble.com.
vgkmafia.redbubble.com.
That's
Hit
right.
me up on Instagram at VGKmafia.
Keep an eye out for those gritty stickers.
Also join the Mullet Club. Shirts coming soon.
Oh my god, I have an idea. Can we make gritty? Can we make Obey inspired gritty stickers
Done.
and then like just slap them around the city like Shepard Fairey did with Obey stickers 20 years ago?
Well, you're not supposed to talk about it because it's illegal.
I don't care. Come for me.
And that'll do it for this week on Around the Boards, guys. We're happy to be back this season. Another hockey season's underway, and we will catch you guys next week.
Oh man,
We'll
there
see
he
you
is.
guys
The Duke.
The Duke.
on Tuesday.
See you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.